Hello, in this lesson I'm going to cover chord substitutions, particularly tritone substitutions. Now this is something I learned about years ago but was struggled to put into practice, and then like a lot of things, it just clicked with me. What a tritone substitution is, basically the principle is that with a lot of dominant 7 chords you can substitute that chord for another dominant 7 chord that's a tritone apart. And the reason for this is because the two main notes within any dominant 7, so for example in C, they're the 3rd and the 7th, and they happen to be a tritone apart. So for example, in this note, the B flat is the 7th and the E natural is the 3rd. But if you switch those around so that the E natural is the 7th and the B flat is the 3rd, then you've got an F sharp or G flat 7, which you can use instead. Now it doesn't mean you can use this all the time. Rule of thumb is use your ears, but a few key places where you can use it are on jazz turnarounds. Now a common jazz 12-bar blues progression will go something like this. So C7 to F7, back to the C, F, C, B, B flat, A, D minor, G, and then a turnaround, C, A, D, and G. And that's the key bit, is the so that's an okay turnaround, but it still seems a bit flat. It's not really got any bite to it. So what you can do is you can think, well, I've got one dominant 7th there, I've got another dominant 7th there, and a 3rd dominant 7th. What about if I change them around and substitute? And so you might change the A dominant 7th to an E flat dominant 7th. And that way I also then substitute to the next two. So instead of going which sounds alright too, but I went C7, E flat 7, A flat 7, D flat 7 and C7. It's a really tight sounding and close moving chord progression, and that's the thing, you just got that descending chromatic tritone, which is really powerful. In this lesson I'm going to cover how you can use sixths as a way of adding again another flavour. So we're going to have them as double stops. You can either have them as played straight or staggered like that. And the reason why sixths are great is because they cover both the interval that goes from the 3rd up to the root, but also it can be the 5th up to the 3rd. So basically sounds a little bit country-ish, but with a bit of grit and with the right backing, it sounds really good for a lot of blues playing. Buddy Whittington's a really strong user of this technique. It's worth checking his stuff out, either with the Blues Breakers or his solo stuff. So I'm going to play this to another sort of more typical blues track, and just see. I'm going to use sort of the 6th as well, but I'm also going to use a lot of sort of riffing on the 3rd and sort of adjacent strings. So again, just to get it rolling a little bit more. So have a listen, see what you think. So some of the main intervals that I'm doing there are the fifth and the third of the F7 chord, which, and then dropping that down chromatically so that it becomes the seventh and the fifth of the C chord. And that double stop's going up the C chord, the C shape version of the F chord, and then there's a lot of just using the pentatonics but hammering them on, double stopping. These are all tricks that are great if you're jamming and you don't know the tune, and they just fill it out and make you sound so much better. So they're really good cheaters tricks. Again, no harm in using the tritone as a sort of partial chord that can add a bit of punch to it, almost as though you were playing a horn part. The double bent note is just, I play it over the neck because I find it easier than trying to play under the fretboard and try and get that minor third to bend up. So if anybody's into Jerry Donahue style bending, that's quite a nice little trick, although I've never seen him play it over the fretboard. And those are some of the tricks that I use to spice up my lead and rhythm playing, because sometimes you find yourself in the middle of a solo and ideas run dry for a couple of seconds, so having a few rhythmic ideas that will help fill the gap and hopefully spur you into a sort of a new place on the fretboard to spark you into life as well can be a good standby to have. So I hope you found that useful, and drop me a line and let me know what you think. Thanks, bye.